Hello, D-Gens. Welcome to Degenerate Takes. I, of course, am the brofict one, AJ. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. What is it, March 12th, 2024? Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're having a good one. We got a lot to talk about today. Obviously, we're going to start with the gambling. All right, we're going to start with the gambling. We're going to be breaking down college basketball, NBA, NHL, big slates in all of them tonight. Lot going on, lot of opportunities. I like it. High percentage shooting. We like it. This is coming off of, I'll admit, a meh day yesterday. Kind of about as even as you can get in college basketball, NBA, NHL. We're doing our best there, but. No, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling good. Thank y'all for taking some time out of your day. Come and talk about sports. Remember, that chat's wide open. And if you like what we're cooking at any given point, maybe hit that like button. Appreciate it. Helps us out a lot more than you know. But let's get into it because we got a busy day in college basketball as we got championship week kicking off for a lot of the bigger conferences. And yeah, it's great. It's great. We got a lot of college basketball going on starting as early as 9:30 over here on the West Coast. I'm loving it. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's awesome. But yeah, let me for some reason, I have no idea reason why the MAC, M-A-A-C, not the MAC, but the MAC championship against Canisius and Mount St. Mary's is delayed currently. And to be completely honest, I have absolutely no idea why it's delayed, but we'll work through it. Regardless, Canisius +4 right now. Let me get that pulled up. Hold the fuck up. Hold on. Canisius +4 right now, though. 138 is the total against Mount St. Mary's and the Mountaineers. Mount St. Mary's, they've been solid, but I don't think you can count out Canisius here, even though they're 13-7. Mount St. Mary's only 13-18. It's not like they're blowing the water out of any of these teams. But, one of those things. What are we looking at here? And with the delay as well, you never really know how that's going to affect a team. But, I'm leaning on Canisius here. But, again, with the delay, just worries me a little bit. So let's keep it moving. We got a couple of games tipping off here at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock, top of the hour. Let's call it that, huh? Starting with Bryant and UMass. Bryant, 7-point favorites on the road here. Well, you know what I mean. UMass, the favorite going in. 160 is the total. And honestly, Bryant hasn't had a terrible season. 20-12 on the season. They like to put up points. There's no doubt about that. Their defense does lack a little bit. UMass, not only can they score a lot of points, they got a lot of shooters. They play defense just a little bit better. But with that being said, 7 points is a lot in this. Bryant 3-2 in their last 5. Where's the money at? I'm thinking the money is all over UMass. If it's over Bryant, that'd be crazy. Yes, shit. And we're getting some reverse line movement as well. Line opened up at 6, seeing it at 7.5 at some books. 60% of the bets, 76% of the money on Bryant here. Yeah, no thank you. UMass minus the 7 at -108. Book even hanging a weird line on it as well. So you go with the weird line, you go with a little bit of a riskier one, and I think that's with UMass here. Minus the 7. I like it. Getting it started in the, not in the MAC, the American East. Next, we'll go to the Southland tournament, the semifinals. Lamar and McNeese. McNeese, 13.5-point favorites here against a Lamar team that's been playing very strong. Played very strong yesterday, at least. Going 71, beating them 71-57 there. McNeese coming in fresh in this game, had the bye in the first round. Listen, McNeese likes to play defense. They like to score the ball. Noah and I have been hot on McNeese all season long, and I don't know why we should get away from that now. Let's go with McNeese, minus 13.5. I get it. It's a lot of points. But you got to get comfortable with uncomfortable numbers. And so, liking those two early, like in UMass, and I'm liking McNeese. I know a little chalky with the 7 and the 13.5, but listen, at some point, and I get it. It is conference championship week, and anything can happen with a lot of these teams. But at some point, the best teams will stand out and they will do their thing. And I think that's something everyone needs to remember, especially when you're gambling on this, because yes, you are looking at, maybe some teams you're not familiar with, maybe some teams that you don't really trust, but with those big numbers, especially, got to go with it. And yes, Lamar coming off of a nice win yesterday, but that day, McNeese having that day to not play and to rest. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, let's keep it moving, though, on to the rest of the slate. Let's get it going. All righty. We are rolling with Miami, Boston College. Miami 3-point favorites here on the road, 148.5. Well, you know what I mean. ACC tournament. 3-point favorites here, 148.5 is the total. 3 at -115. So, I mean, hey, Boston College getting some love here. And I mean, I guess I can kind of get there. I can get there where people are going with Boston College. Not unproven, but a team that has been hot and has been able to win those games in the clutch. But when I watch Miami, I mean, and again, I have not been on the Hurricanes a lot this season, but when I watch that team, I still at least know exactly what I'm going to get with them. I know the type of basketball they're going to play, and they're going to be consistent about it, which is something I appreciate and something that people appreciate in college basketball. 63% of the bets, 54% of the money on BC. So that's why you're seeing, a little bit of the book begging you at -105 to sit in there, because they don't want to move that line. They like the line at 3 there. And so if they can get you at -105 instead of moving that down to 2.5 where it might have to move. Yeah. It doesn't matter. I still like Miami here. The 3, it should scare you. It doesn't. It doesn't scare us, though. We like the 3. I think they're going to end up getting ahead, and that defense is going to step up a little bit. Boston College is going to be in a washer. Stony Brook, Charleston, 10-point favorites here on the road. Well, you know what I mean. I keep saying that because, we've been betting on college basketball all season, and I'm just kind of in that mode, but CAA championship. What are they at? No, Stony Brook, 10-point dogs going into this one. 148 is the total. I mean, Charleston has just been putting away opponents. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And I think this line is kind of representing that. I think we got Towson at 11.5 yesterday. We got Towson at 11.5 yesterday, and so that covered, thank God. But still, we would have been fine with 10. And but still, I'm not worried about it. Stony Brook beating a very good Hofstra team yesterday in a nice win. Charleston, it's just got that feeling with them, though. So we're going with Charleston minus the 10 here. Trusting their shooters a little bit more. Milwaukee and Oakland. Panthers, Grizzlies going at it. 4 points is the spread. Oakland favored here. 151.5 is the total for the Barbasol Horizon League Championship. Let's go. But for the Horizon League, Oakland has been a solid team all season. I bet against them once this tournament. I'm not doing it again. 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm taking it. I like this Oakland team a lot. Shout out to Milwaukee for the run they've had this offense, and the offense has really shown up. For them in this tournament. And I think that's one reason why you might be looking at the over at 151.5, thinking a lot of points going to be scored in this game with not a lot of defense. Doesn't matter, though. I'm going with Oakland minus a 4 here. What else are we working with? Wagner and Merrimack. Merrimack, 8-point favorites here. 119 the total in the Northeast Conference Tournament Finals. Merrimack, the 8-point favorites here. And I mean, it's hard not to love this Merrimack team. 21-11 going up against kind of a Cinderella here in a 15-15 Wagner. And you know what's gotten Wagner here is defense. I mean, don't get me wrong. They don't score a lot of points except for this tournament, but even then they're only hovering around 60, 65 points. I mean, that total's low. That total is low at 119, but I think it's going to have an issue even getting to 120. And yeah, Merrimack scores on average a little bit more than Wagner, but it might come down to the point where that's not an issue. Oh, it's March, baby. We got to remember that too. It's March. It's March. Craziness starts to happen in March. 15-15 Wagner going into the finals against 21-11 Merrimack. 8-point dogs going into this. I'm going to take Wagner plus the 8. I think we're going to see a lot of fight in them. Don't know what you don't know. You're not even supposed to be here. Y'all ain't even supposed to be here. Get out of here. What are you doing here? No. They're here to play. Let them play. Let the boys play. And I'm feeling it tonight. With Wagner. I like it. Manhattan, Iona. I mean, we'll touch on this briefly. Not a lot. I mean, Manhattan sucks. Manhattan is a bad basketball team. I'm sorry, but they're just not. Their offense doesn't do anything. The defense is non-existent. It's hard to look at this Manhattan team and think that they can go out there and win a first round matchup. I'm going with Iona minus the 8 here. Not even thinking twice about it. Sacramento State, Montana State. 5.5-point favorites here. 134.5 is the total. Big Sky Championship semifinals. Taking this one out of Noah's book. Noah has been talking about Montana State for nonstop all season long. It's about time I get on that train, I think. So let's roll with Montana State here. I like the matchup against Sacramento State. Let's go. Gonzaga. St. Mary's. The West Coast Conference Final. Gonzaga, 3.5-point favorites here. 138 is the total. And I gotta say, I'm kind of not vibing with the disrespect coming St. Mary's way. And I know what you're thinking. I know what y'all are thinking. I know what you're thinking. AJ, this is Gonzaga. It's Gonzaga. What are we even talking about here? Let's talk about the fact that St. Mary's has just played one more game than them and has one more loss. And granted, that loss is to Gonzaga at the end of the season. And Gonzaga, hey, they put a spanking on them. 70-57. But again, last game of the season, getting ready for the conference tournament, right? Maybe. Different game, and still, after that ass whooping by almost, 13 points there, 70-57 the final score. The sportsbook still feeling confident enough in St. Mary's to hold them at a 3.5-point favorite. Where is the money? Oh, we love it. We love it. This line opened up at 1.5. 78% of the bets. 99% of the money on Gonzaga. Oh, baby. Not only that, I like St. Mary's defense more than I like Gonzaga's. I see a lot more hustle out of them. I mean, they're holding opponents. And again, bad game. Everyone has a bad day in the office. And, I think probably too many bettors are having that in their head. St. Mary's still had a very nice back half of the season, working their way up to 21. Gonzaga there at 17. You heard it here first. St. Mary's plus the 3.5, sprinkling that money line at plus 143 as well. Yeah, love that. And honestly, you might want to hold off. That game's not for another 3 hours. You might, with that much money and everything, you might get more money on Gonzaga there at 3.5. It's still at 105. Might want to move it up to 4 at this point. And they're trying to move it up to 4 because now at this point, they're so deep in on Gonzaga. They just want everyone there because they opened this at 1.5. And then they saw everybody jump on that 1.5. Fine, we'll move to 2.5. Everyone was jumping on the 2.5. Fine, we'll move it to 3.5. And it seems like it might be slowing down a little bit. But also, I mean, holding 3.5 at 105, they're trying to move that line. They're trying to get a little bit more money on Gonzaga. So honest to God, so they can get a safety net, because then it's a win-win for the book, if you think about it. And so this is kind of how that goes. So there is so much money. All of the public, big bettors, everything is on Gonzaga here. And so the book's going to keep moving that line until they can get it kind of 50-50, so that if St. Mary's wins, yes, they get all that Gonzaga. They have enough to cover that. But they're at the point right now where so little, 22% of the bets, 1% of the money is being bet on St. Mary's. They're so deep in on Gonzaga. They want to keep moving that line up so that they have some type of security, because no one's betting on St. Mary's. No one's betting on St. Mary's, not even at 3.5, which is mind-blowing to me. I love them at 3.5. I love them at 4.5. I love them at 2.5. Again, I'm sprinkle that money line up. That's where I'm at. It's mind-blowing to me. I mean, I haven't seen this happen in a long time, where you have so much money on that one side. The book's going to lower that, not make you pay as much juice that you see there with the minus 105, so that they can keep moving the line up. I haven't seen a book do that in a long, long time. Long time. That's awesome. But at this point, because, and that's another thing, and again, this gets into, my betting strategy and everything like that, but the book will talk to you. If you know what you're looking for, the book will talk to you. And that's what I'm talking about with that minus 105 there. Because the book is essentially saying, we'll give you a discount at this line. Please bite on this line. Take it at 3.5. We gave it to you at 2.5. We gave it to you at 3.5. They're going to want to bump that up to 4.5. They're waiting to bump that up to 4.5 until they hit that threshold. I believe it's a threshold. It used to be a threshold, at least at the book I worked at. There was a threshold, and then they would have to move the line. Unless there's a couple gamblers that would walk in, and if they placed a bet, they would respect that and then move the line too, because they respected their action. But no, I mean, yeah, again, I haven't seen a book do this in a long time, where they're so deep in on one side, they're just going to keep on moving it up. And yes, typically that is what they do, but they're to the point where St. Mary's is not getting any love from the public. They're not getting any love from the public. And so they're just trying to move that line up so high at this point that Gonzaga, even if they do win, there is such a low probability that it'll cover. That's what they're hoping at. They're hoping, honestly, you watch this line for the next 3 hours. I'm going to keep an eye on it, because I wouldn't be surprised to see this go as high as maybe, 5? Would it go up 1.5? Because unless they get some massive bet, unless the books get some massive bet at minus 3.5, I mean, they're probably moving to 4. If they get a massive bet, though, on Gonzaga at 3.5, if they don't, they're going to move it to 4 when they hit that quote-unquote threshold for moving a line. Yeah, the book could be in a lot of trouble tonight. That'd be awesome. I saw this other post, too, that Kentucky is their biggest liability right now in March Madness. Something like, apparently, they would just they're going to get the shit kicked out of them if they end up holding true. I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, guys. Got caught up in what the sports book's doing right now with that game. 3.5. Fuck. See, and they don't even want you to bet on it anymore. They're not even trying to get you bet on. And that's the thing. They're not even trying to get you bet on St. Mary's at minus 115. They're not even trying. They're, because quote unquote, the psychology in sports betting, at least, is, if it's a game that's going to be on ESPN. And so people are going to come in and look at the game. Well, I'm going to watch it tonight. I like Gonzaga. Or maybe whatever. And so they go in, they look at the line, and then they see the minus 115. They get explained to what those odds mean. And they're like, well, fuck that. Why would I do that? Let me take the 105. Let me take the one. Again, depending on the bettor, but yeah. Nichols, Texas, A&M, Corpus Christi. Got to make sure it's the right A&M. You know what I mean? A&M, Corpus, 4-point favorites here against Nichols in the semifinals for the Southland tournament. Man, I don't know. I've been liking this Nichols team. This Nichols team's been fun to watch yesterday. And hey, they put in a hell of a performance. They got shooters on the court, and they were definitely feeling themselves yesterday, which you got to like it. You got to like the chemistry that's being built there. The worry I have is their defense. And yes, their defense showed up a little bit yesterday, but I'm almost concerned that it was more of A&M Commerce just not shooting the ball fucking well. Which might be an issue for Corpus Christi, but Corpus Christi has been pretty dominant in this conference, 14-4. I mean, Nichols 13-5, so nothing to wag your nose at by whatever means. Having a really nice back end of the season. Nichols may have figured it out here. Where do you guys think the public's at? Interesting. 58% of the bets, 13% of the money on Nichols. 42% of the bets, 87% of the money on A&M. So getting heavy money coming in on A&M there. Oh, man. I'm going with Nichols here. I'm going with the hot hand right now, plus the 4. I liked what they did in the back end of the season. They're 4-1 in their last 5, dropping out at McNeese in that one loss, which I think is a very respectable loss. I like the way they're cooking. Yes, A&M 5-0 in their last 5, but 4 points, I'll take that any day. Take it any day. Alrighty, FIU and Jacksonville State, the Gamecocks. 5.5 favorites here, excuse me. 142 is the total in the CUSA first round. Okay. So Jacksonville State plays better defense. That's fine. FAU likes to score more points, though. Will they outpace them, though? I don't think they're going to outpace them. FIU, I mean, yeah, just like any school, though, they could get cold. I mean, they're dropping 3 of their last 5. Granted, so did Jacksonville State. But, I've been solid on defense this season. I think the defense, along with how Jacksonville State plays on their offense, moving the ball around, going to be looking really good. Give me Jacksonville State minus the 5. Nova. There we go. Denver, South Dakota State in the Summit League final. South Dakota State 9.5-point favorites here. Excuse me. 155 is the total. And let me tell you something. Nice run from Denver. Beating the Roos, beating Omaha. But here's the issue. Their opponents have been covering. And when you're not covering games, you're winning them that close, that starts to worry me a little bit. I made money betting against Denver. I think that's going to continue here tonight. Give me South Dakota State minus the 9.5 and your new Summit League champion. All right, Siena and Niagara. 10.5-point favorites here. 130 is the total. In the MAAC first round. We've been liking Niagara on this show. They're an exciting team to watch. They do suck, though. Let's not, no ifs, ands, or buts about that. They do suck. So does Siena, though. Siena sucks more, though. Like 4-27 sucks more. Niagara, minus 10.5. Let's cook. Idaho State, Montana Grizzlies in the Big Sky semifinals. Idaho State 7-point dogs going into this one. 137.5 is the total. Idaho State, another little Cinderella story here. 14-19 on the season, making it to the semifinals here. Will it continue? A nice win against NAU. Better win against UNCO. Montana, though, been on a warpath. 4-1 in their last 5. Picking up a good one against Priest yesterday. Going with Montana here, minus the 7. just like their basketball more. Another team Noah has been hype on and I've had to watch. So we're going with that. That is my picks for college basketball, the rest of the slate tonight. Going through it one more time. Miami Hurricanes minus the 3, Charleston minus 9.5, Oakland minus the 4, Wagner plus the 8, Iona minus 8, Montana minus 5.5, St. Mary's plus 3.5, Nichols plus the 4, Jacksonville State minus the 5, South Dakota State minus 9.5, Niagara minus 10.5, Montana minus the 7. That is a nice little 12-leg parlay for the afternoon. That's not too bad. It's not too bad. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of it. If I had to be honest, I'm a fan of my picks today. I do like my college basketball picks today. All right. Let's get it rolling. Sorry, just making sure I didn't miss anything huge. This NFL free agency period has been insane lately. I think it's going to continue, obviously. We'll get to Derrick Henry and the Ravens here in a moment. Alrighty. Do you just have to step away for a moment and then we'll get into the NBA. We'll get into the association. A lot of action going on in the association tonight, and we'll break it all down. Be back in just a moment. All right, I'm sorry. Welcome back. We got to take a moment here. I mean, Skip Bayless. Now, listen, he's obviously talking about the Dallas Cowboys. But if I didn't say Dallas Cowboys, I mean, what would you think of this tweet? And yes, I know there's a comma, but come on, Skip. Come on, Skip. Bro, come on. You're kidding me, Skip. I can't believe him. What a dog. What a dog Skip Bayless is. What a dog. All in my ass. What? Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Shout out Skip Bayless. Granted, I can't remember the last time you got a take right or anyone wanted to deal with your takes. I can't remember the last time I've heard anyone watch your show. But hey, you're right. Cowboys did not go all in. They can't go all in there. They got to pay Dak. He should know that. He should know how this works. I shouldn't have to tell you this, Skippy. Oh, man. In case anyone's wondering, if I ever got the opportunity to debate Skip Bayless, I mean, sure, but not a priority of mine by any means necessary. You know, in those debate shows, they're so like tired out now. You know, and I mean, yes, I am guilty. I will turn on First Take every once in a while if it's a slow morning or something like that. And I'll listen to Skip and Shannon for a bit. It just gets tiring, you know? It just gets tiring. Hey, shout out to them, though. They can get pissed off about anything. And I appreciate that because I can't. Just not what I do. Alrighty. Let's get into the association, why don't we? Why not? Why not? All in my ass. That's awesome, Skip. Thank you again. Alrighty. Sorry about that. That was hilarious. I couldn't not talk about that. I mean, I sit down and I just see that. It's like, yeah, let's open back up with that. Let's get back to that. Alrighty. The Association of Basketball of National NBA. Starting us off with the Sixers and the Knicks. Knicks, 5.5-point favorites here. 208.5 is the total. And, you know, yeah, the Sixers have been, how do I politely say, the shits. They've been politely the shits. Excuse me. So has the Knicks, though. That I can't really complain about that. They did just beat the Knicks 2 days ago at Knicks as well. And so they're playing another one here. Interesting. I know it's hard to beat a team twice, but man, it is hard to beat a team twice. We're going to go with the Knicks minus the 5.5 here. Not a big fan of the number, but hey, we'll take it. We'll take it. Wizards and the Grizzlies. Grizzlies, 2.5-point dogs at home. Wrong game. There we go. 2.5-point dogs at home. 219 is the total. I mean, still, everyone and their mom is out for the Grizzlies. And I think that's the only reason I'm going to bet on the Wizards here is just because there are so many injuries on the Grizzlies. And hey, Wizards won their last 2. They're feeling hot. Won their last matchup against the Grizzlies as well, so keep it moving. Rockets, Spurs. Rockets, 3-point favorites here. 222 is the total. I'm staying with this. Yes, Wembanyama is going to be a great player and all that in a pot of brownies. But Rockets are just they're going to win here because the Spurs don't know how to win games. Celtics and the Jazz. Celtics, 6-point favorites here. Jazz, not looking good. Not looking good. Celtics have been solid at putting teams away, but then they went on that little bump there. And I mean, man. And again, you're going to have a bad night in the office. Not something you worry about, but back-to-back, Cleveland to Denver. And I mean, yeah, I know you're playing on the road, but you're going to play 2 games on the road, you know, for the playoffs. So that might be something that's a little bit concerning, but nothing that we don't know about Boston. Lauri Markkanen is out for the Jazz, which is still a bummer. Should be back on Saturday, though, or Friday, which would be hype. Celtics minus... Oh, I'm not even sharing my screen. That is my bad, guys. Celtics minus the 6. Thank you very much. All right, Timberwolves. Clippers. Clippers, 6.5-point favorites here. And yeah, I mean, the Clippers have been playing good ball, but hey, can't count out the Timberwolves. I know Catman is out. Anthony Edwards, game time decision along with Rudy Gobert. This is a TNT game, so they will more than likely play. I'm going to take the Timberwolves plus the 6.5 here. Yes, I know Karl Anthony Towns not playing is a huge bummer, but that's okay in my book. It's okay. I do think the Ant-Man himself will be able to will them into there. So let's roll 6.5. Bucks and the Kings. Kings 1-point favorites here at home against the Bucks, who, oh man, I don't know. What do you say about the Bucks? They have those nights. They have those bad nights. A lot of people out. Giannis, a game time decision. If Giannis plays, Kings take this one. I'll take Kings on the money line, minus 115. And that is the association. Knicks -5.5, Wizards -2.5, Rockets -3, Celtics -6, Timberwolves +6.5, Sacramento Kings on the money line. Let's get cooking. Oh, man. All right. Let's get to the ice, huh? Why don't we get to the ice? Noah and I will be covering the Players' Championship tomorrow night, so make sure you tune in for that. We'll also catch up on any NFL free agency going on. But let's get to the ice, and then we'll break down some free agency stuff because we got to talk about the moves that happened today. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Hold on. All right, here we go. In the NHL, starting us off first, Red Wings and the Sabres. Red Wings 110 on the money line here. 6.5 is the total. Let me tell you something, brother. The Red Wings have been one of my favorite teams to bet on this season, mostly because you do get them at plus odds, even if it is short. But they are also just a young, fast, and starting to get more and more experience every day. I like what they're doing. And they're on a losing streak as well. Let's not forget that. They've dropped their last 5-0 in their last 5. Which isn't great. Sabres 3-2 in their last 5. They're picking up one against Edmonton in a shootout a couple nights ago. That's a nice dub. But hey, they're going to get it turned around. They are on the back end of at least a 4-game road trip here. So let's go. I'll take it. I'll take the bait at the Red Wings plus the 110 on the money line. Rangers Hurricane minus the 178 at home. 5.5 is the total here. Rangers haven't been playing too hot. And Carolina, on the other hand, has been smoking. Both of them 3-2 in their last 5. And yeah, Rangers losing to Florida and to Toronto. I mean, good losses in my book. Good losses in my book. Hurricanes. Oh, I'm sorry. Hurricanes are 4-1 in their last 5, dropping one to Winnipeg. And the Hurricanes at home, 21-8-4. I think they extend that here. Give me the Hurricanes on the money line minus 178. Pittsburgh Penguins in Ottawa. Ottawa plus 100 here on the money line. 6.5 is the total. I mean, listen, Ottawa is nothing to write home about, but neither is Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh, as of recent, has been really letting go of a lot of games. And I'm looking for that to continue here tonight. Give me the Senators plus 100 on the money line. San Jose, Philadelphia Flyers staying away from this game. Don't like where the numbers are at. Whenever I'm getting more than minus 120 on a minus 1.5, no thank you. Blue Jackets and the Canadians minus 120 on the money line. 6.5 is the total. I mean, both teams, let's be honest, both teams stink. Like, let's not try to make any excuses. Both teams flat out stink. So they're giving the edge to the home team here. I'm not biting on it. I think the Blue Jackets are going to go ahead and have a good one here. 3-2 in their last 5, whereas the Canadians are 1-4 in their last 5. So Blue Jackets keeping the Canadians absolutely miserable. Panthers and the Stars. This is an interesting matchup. I like it a lot. Stars minus 115 on the money line, the minus 1.5 point favorites here at big plus money. Stars are 5-0 in their last 5. Panthers 4-1 in their last 4-1 in their last 5. Panthers do hold a win over them back in December by a goal. Gonna get a flat drag out fight here. And I gotta say, hey, they've been hot. But they got playing in Dallas. Give me Dallas minus 115 here. That's a tough one, but we're gonna roll with it. Coyotes in the Wild, staying away from it. I always feel like the Coyotes play the Wild well, and I let that guide my decision making, which usually doesn't lead to the best decision making. So we're going to stay away from that. Go Coyotes. Stay away. Ducks, Blackhawks, same thing. Just two shit teams I don't want to waste my time on. Avalanche and the Flames. Flames plus 150 at home. 16, 14, and 1 at home. Boston, 14, 14, and 5 away. Flames coming back home after a 3-game road stretch. 2-3 in their last 5. Avalanche, 4-1 in their last 5. Most of those games at home, though. Give me the Flames here, plus the 1.5 at minus 165. If the Avalanche do win, not going to be by a whole lot of points. Their last game, they only won by 1, so I think the Flames are playing better hockey now than they were then. Golden Knights and the Kraken. Golden Knights slipping a little bit. 4-1 in their last 5, picking up their last one in Detroit. At home against Detroit. Kraken 3-2 in their last 5. I'm going with the Kraken here, plus 130 on the money line. I think they win this game outright. Yeah, I just don't like the way the Knights have been playing. I don't think so. Something's missing there. Something is amiss in there. But that's the NHL. That's the ice for us tonight. Looking at the Red Wings on the money line. Hurricanes minus 178. Senators plus 100. Columbus plus 100. Stars minus the 115. Calgary plus 1.5. And the Kraken plus the 130. We like it. We do. We like it a lot. We like it a lot. All right, let me get everything pull up. Let's talk some free agency, huh? All right. Let's get into it because it's been a crazy day again in free agency. Some more dominoes falling that I think we were expecting to fall yesterday. But had to wait for them to fall. Let me get everything pulled on up. As I think the biggest signing, I think we can all agree from today, is King Henry officially going to the Ravens, signing him to a 2-year, $16 million deal worth up to $20 million. Wrong screen. $9 million guaranteed for the King himself, Derrick Henry, joining an all-star lineup right now up there in Baltimore. And, you look at this and, hey, you kind of know what the Ravens are going to run the next couple seasons, Okay, we're going to hand the ball off to Henry, or we're going to fake hand it off to him, let Lamar run the ball. But no, all kidding aside, this is a great move by the Ravens. Great move by the Ravens. Not only do they like to run the ball a lot, and so you're going to do it with King Henry, so they're going to have to respect the run game, but you trust Lamar in the pocket as well, and so that allows, as we've seen with the Titans, it allows it to open up a little bit. And so, however they decide to use Derrick Henry, however Derrick Henry is used, he's going to be a game changer. He's going to be a game wrecker. I think this is ultimately going to be a great move from the Ravens. Now, the question being, does this move them into, contention? Does this make them, quote unquote, Super Bowl favorites in people's eyes? And personally, in my eyes, no. Still, the same issues are there on the offensive side of the football that have been there. On the defensive side of the football that have been there. That none of that has been addressed. Yes, you give Lamar Jackson and the offense another toy. Can't be upset about that, but still, it doesn't matter if a team can go up and put more points on the board than you. All that matters at the end of the day is whoever puts the most points on the board. We all know that. Ravens moving up plus 900 to win the Super Bowl this year. Still behind Kansas City at plus 625 and San Francisco at plus 550. I mean, listen, King Henry wanted to go ring chase. He wanted to go ring chase. 16 million, 20 million, 9 mil guaranteed. Why didn't he call the Chiefs up? Why weren't the Chiefs called? Or maybe they were called and they just didn't want to pay that. I mean, that wouldn't be the first time the Chiefs haven't paid a superstar. Shout out Tyreek Hill. But I mean, at the end of the day, any team that picks up Derrick Henry is going to be happy. Like, yes, the big thing that this adds, I think, to their offense is they now have their version of the tush push, which is let Derrick Henry run people over up the middle. Get Tractor Cito moving. I did like this from part of my take. But yeah, hey, Tractor Cito going to Baltimore. Great fit, obviously. I mean, he's going to look good in that purple and, and oh, hey, we were just talking about our boy Skip. Let's talk about him again. Because he's saying Baltimore Ravens just won next year's Super Bowl. All it took was a guaranteed $9 million for Derrick Henry. Kirk Cousins, wait, what? Kirk Cousins got a guaranteed $50 million a year for each of the first 2 years, $100 million total, and he's all one of one playoff game. Congrats, Lamar. Your owner gets it. And I mean, if we're going to be honest, this is just Skip. I mean, I don't understand where he's trying to get here. I don't understand the point he's trying to get across here. Yeah, no, I mean, like I just said, there's a lot of issues still on the Ravens defensive side of the football. I think some schemes are definitely going to have to be changed now with Henry there. But outside of that, I mean, yeah, Kirk Cousins got a guarantee. It wasn't guaranteed $50 million a year. First of all. Second of all, oh man, Skip. Put your phone down, Skip. Go to bed. Past your bedtime, Skip. Simple as that. I mean, I just don't get it. I don't get what. And that's the thing. I don't listen. And I might be off here. And you can go ahead and tell me if I'm off. The comments are open. The chat's open. I don't care. And I might be off, but as far as I'm concerned, the NFL still runs through Kansas City. Not just the AFC, which it does as well, but the NFL runs through Kansas City and will for the next couple of years. What we saw this year, I think, was the worst thing that we could have seen as football fans for the Kansas City Chiefs. And that was that they showed complacency, calmness for the most part. Shout out Patrick Mahomes getting fired up. That was fun to watch. But regardless of that, then they show up to the playoffs and they look like the same old Chiefs. So many of those guys have literally been there, done that. And instead of what these, a lot of these other Super Bowl teams do where they can't figure out how to keep guys and they can't figure out how to keep those key pieces, that's when they then go move off to the other teams. And then you don't get what you got right now with the Chiefs, but they've been able to figure it out, getting Mahomes to a long-term deal that spreads it out, getting Chris Jones to sign again. Travis Kelce's still there. And, the offense, they got to figure that out. Go back to the draft. I don't think Patrick Mahomes wants Tooney lining up with him again. But regardless of those are problems that can be fixed. And those are problems that were with the Chiefs throughout their playoffs. And they overcame those issues and were still able to win a Super Bowl. And so for anyone to say, honestly, that anyone less than the Chiefs should be the Super Bowl favorites right now, I understand the sportsbook has what the sportsbook has. But anyone outside of the Chiefs I need to see more. I need to see more. And this isn't like the last time. You know what I mean? When we came on here after the Rams won the Super Bowl, I was telling Noah the Rams are about to have a terrible Super Bowl hangover. And that's exactly what they had. They had a terrible Super Bowl hangover. The Chiefs had the opportunity to have that. And maybe, hey, yeah, they did in the beginning of the season, middle of the season, when everything was still trying to get figured out. All the balls were getting dropped left, right, and center. But it doesn't saying the Ravens just because they signed Derrick Henry, is now a Super Bowl. They're winning the Super Bowl now. Talk about an overreaction of overreactions. I mean, I get it. Get excited for free agency. Yes, your team got better. And I'm not arguing that the Ravens didn't get better with the Derrick Henry signing. I think they absolutely got better. Did they get Super Bowl champion better? I don't think so. But that's just me. What do they need to do? They need to go to the draft and they need to get some defensive help. I don't know what they need on defense. I haven't done my draft homework yet. I'm getting to that. Probably get to that after the first couple rounds of March. But yeah, Derrick Henry is not the answer to their problems. Not the answer to the problems. But hey, a new shiny toy. Gotta like a new shiny toy. That's all it is to me, you know? Could come down to just being window dressing at some point. That's all I'm saying. Now, with all that being said, I cannot wait to see Derrick Henry and Lamar Action running play action. That's going to be fun. That's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, Super Bowl contenders, nah. This one Noah and I had a good laugh about. Giants signing quarterback Drew Lock. I mean, listen, ultimate vibes guy. Big vibes guy. You know, definitely a guy you want on your bench, you know, rallying the boys, keeping the boys in a good spirit. Is he being brought in to compete with Daniel Jones? That would be hilarious. I mean, hey, the Giants are already saying they got buyer's remorse. Going to get Drew Lock on a not expensive deal. Compete with Danny Dimes? Whew, maybe. And by the way, any Giants fans out there who are upset about Saquon Barkley going to the Eagles, you shouldn't be upset with Saquon. You should not be upset with Saquon. Your organization made a decision last season. They made a decision that sent Saquon Barkley to the Eagles. And that decision was to pay Daniel Jones. And I remember very vividly last summer when everyone on everyone in Giants Twitter was super stoked on that. Super stoked on that huge ass deal you gave Danny Dimes. You finally had your quarterback. And then you quickly realize that Saquon Barkley is what made your quarterback. Honestly, hilarious what this organization's going through right now. And you know we're going to see Drew Lock start one of these games. Oh, absolutely. No ifs, ands, or buts. We're going to see Drew Lock start one of these games. It's going to be hilarious. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Yeah, a couple of Heisman back there. Not too shabby. Shaq Barrett going to the Dolphins. Dolphins need to make some moves, but they've been having to cut everyone and their moms to get under the cap tomorrow. Oh, yeah. Vikings are signing Sam Darnold. Oh, this was the perfect gift for Vikings fans. I mean, listen, hey, not talk about a downgrade, huh? Talk about a downgrade from Kirk Cousins to, as of right now, Sam Darnold. And I would love to be a fly on that wall in that building right now. Because, I mean, it hasn't come out yet, but there is no way Justin Jefferson isn't like, all right, let's get the fuck out of here. Let's get out of here. Because I don't think that's what he wants. And I don't think it does the Vikings any good to have a very expensive, very good wide receiver on your sideline with a rookie quarterback. I don't see it. And Russell Wilson signed now. Kirk Cousins obviously signed now. Don't really have a lot of options there at quarterback. Unless they've got some type of move in the draft. They're planning on trying to move up. They're in negotiation with Chicago to get that number one. But why would Chicago help out their, division rival? I don't know, man. If I'm the Vikings, I mean, this was all kind of set in motion last year, though. Last year, the Vikings started cutting everyone and their mom as well, saying it was for cap reasons to pay Justin Jefferson, which, yes, they did. Shout out to them. But also started this youth movement. And that's kind of where they've been going, is this youth movement. And yes, I do think they probably tried to sign Kirk Cousins to a deal. I don't think it was a deal that, was as long or as many years or as much money as Kirk Cousins wanted. And that's one of the reasons he went. But the Vikings have been looking at going towards this youth, and shout out to Kirk Cousins. He has given the Vikings everything. He's been incredible for them. But that is the issue. He has given a lot to them. It's been a lot of seasons with the Vikings, a lot of years on that franchise tag, and he's played good football for them. Don't get me wrong. He has played great football for them. But at the same time, they're ready to go young. They're ready to go young with Kevin O'Connell. They're ready to go young. And again, whether they go with the draft at that 12th pick there, they try to move it up, it'll be interesting. But I don't think Justin Jefferson is long for the Vikings. I just don't see it. I don't see it. And, everyone says they're super hyped on, everyone likes to talk about Sam Darnold in a glowing manner, saying he's a great thrower of the football and everything. That's great. The last time I recalled, he was seeing ghosts in New England. And, maybe that is the Bill Belichick effect, but I don't know. Falcons are continuing to make moves as well as Darnell Mooney, leaving the Bears, going to the Falcons, 3-year, $39 million deal. Falcons getting some more weapons for Kirk Cousins and this offense, which is stacked. Let's not forget, kind of like the Ravens defensive side of the football still has a lot of question marks. Rookie head coach, a lot of question marks there. It helps to have that veteran rookie there. That veteran quarterback there. But, hey, the Falcons, they be falconing. Hold on, what do they have to win the division after all this? Oh, yeah, Falcons still at plus 100 to win the division. Tampa back there at 270. New Orleans at 300, and Carolina at plus 1,300. No love for them. I don't think there should be love for them, but there is no love for them. Crazy stuff. Commander signed Marcus Mariota. That's a move. I don't know what else you want me to say about that. Oh, Aaron Jones. The Vikings did make one move. Aaron Jones going to the Vikings now. Quick landing spot for him. And, hey, the Vikings get another nice another nice running back there. I'm sure he's going to love seeing the Packers twice a year after being asked to take a pay cut. So, yeah, shout out to Aaron Jones. I'm disappointed in this one, I will say. I am disappointed in this one. Jameis Winston going to the Browns to back up Deshaun Watson on a deal. I really wish Jameis would have gone to the Vikings. That would have been awesome. I think Jameis, we need one more good run with Jameis as a starter. And hey, granted Deshaun was injured last year, but he hasn't completed a season since he's been back. Suspension and then injury. So we might see Jameis sooner than we expect. But hey, shout out. But yeah, hey. Let me double check, make sure nothing else is broken since we've been live. Ooh, Dolphins are signing someone. Dolphins sign former Bills safety Jordan Poyer to a 1-year deal, prove it deal. Hey, Dolphins needed help on defense. They get some help there with Jordan Poyer, who's an absolute baller. Saints are signing linebacker Willie Gray of the Chiefs to a 1-year deal worth $5 million. Daniel Hunter signing 2-year, $49 million with the Texans. Texans is getting some help on the defensive side of the football there. Talented pass rusher. Oh, man, the Texans are going to be dirty this year. But, yeah, hey, I think that's all I got today. Thank you all again for listening and watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. Good luck on all your bets. Hope those hit. And, hey, if you like what we're cooking, please hit that like button. Helps us out a lot more than you know. But with all that being said, thank you all again. I, of course, am the Brofict1 AJ, and I'll see you next time on Degenerate Takes.